Hi everyone. Just a quick hi to me so I can come to know that you guys have joined me live. How's everyone today? Did you guys have a good day till now? And as usual, what you guys were doing? I know all of you were doing really good things today. So how's life now? Half term is almost over now. Are you guys waiting to go online again? All of you would be going online now from Monday onwards. All waiting for online classes again? Or are you guys missing your school now? Hopefully, all of you will be able to go to school now very soon. No, you're not missing your school. I thought you would be missing your school. I go to school. Oh, you must be because of your parents. Your parents must be working, both of them. This is your first class. Welcome. Because of that, I go there. That's good. Because of that, you go there. So you're a key worker. Okay. That's good, all of you. My school is opening in 12 days. I know all the schools are opening now. All the schools will be opening from the 8th, I think so, of the 8th of March. You did comprehension and maths today. That's really good. So all of you are working. That's good to see that all of you are still working and you are doing a lot of things. You're in year 4. That's good. I know all the schools are opening from the 8th of March. So you'll be going to the classroom. Schools are already open. You guys still have your schools, don't you? Schools are already open, so you just joined. Hi, Vidhi. So, do you guys know what we're doing today? Vidhi is also going to school because her parents are also key workers, right? So, some of you are still going to school. It's not that you guys are not going to school. So, some of you are still going to school and having some good time in school these days. Yes, we are going to do creative writing today. Creative writing. Do you guys love creative writing? How many of you like creative writing? And how many of you don't like creative writing at all? Do you like doing creative writing? You have to use a really good vocabulary in creative writing. You need to have a lot of good vocabulary in it. Don't you? Hate it. Do you hate it? Why do you hate it? I hope you start liking it soon. So should I start sharing my screen so we can have some creative writing? We can do some creative writing with you guys. And we can have some fun and see how you guys are getting along with it. What are we going to write about? I don't like writing and I like maths more. I know that you do. So let's start sharing. I find it hard. Don't worry about that. We are here to help you guys. Hi Josh. So let's see the time now. We can start sharing the screen. Let's share the screen. Let's hide myself. Okay. So let's do it. She love to write stories. That's really good. So today I'm going to tell you guys, let's look at the starters. You can can you all look what I'm showing you? Can you have a look at can you see the screen what I shared with you guys? I see scroll. Yeah. So they are telling you that in the first one, you have to write five adjectives to describe this image. So you need to think about five adjectives. Let's start with the first one. You need to think about the five adjectives to describe the scene. So if you look at the image, it looks like it's really cold. It's really cold and it's really freezy. It's really freezing cold. So you need to write five adjectives for me now, all of you, which describes the picture. And they have given you example. Cold could become, and the second one is think of synonyms, synonyms to improve each word. So if you are, for example, if you guys are writing about cold, you will write as cold as snow or something like that. So they want you to describe it in a way in which you can improve the meaning of the word. Really, you can use the meaning of the word. Cold could become, so you're not only using cold, you're going to use other words, mean more hard words than cold. So what words can you use instead of cold? Let me just have search for you guys. You can use freezing. I know one of them. You all can use freezing instead of cold. So you can think about another words than cold, not cold. They want you to use different words, not to use simple words. I got a lot of words from cold. Instead of cold, you can write chili, or you could write icy cold, icy bitter. Yeah, all of you have got good. So let's put some of yours. One, icy bitter, cracking, frosty, crunchy. That's a good one. So you can use as many different words to describe. You were supposed to write a sentence, not only the words, for adjectives to describe the image. You just wrote about the image. You could use another one they have given you. This is one of the examples they have given you, so you could give me another examples. If you look at the image actually describes about somewhere which is really ice. It looks like it's a winter day or something. It's snowing, and if you look at the river has frozen. So you could write something about the river or something, and I can see that you can also see there's a polar bear or something. Or you could write that freezing black chill. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll just put that one up for you. Freezing black chilled, dissolved, dissolted, arctic wintry. So here she has basically described about winter, how the winter is, and how you feel when you see something like this in the winter. You normally see polar animals and things like that. The ice cracked with laughter while the snow stood as motionless as a rock. I like this one. I'm just putting it up for you guys. That's a good one. The ice cracked with laughter while the snow stood as motionless as a rock. Another one like this is ice taking over the cold water. That's also a good one. So you guys know how to write different type of words and how to use them. It's really good the way you guys are using them. Remember that in creative writing there are so many children who will be giving in the 11 plus or any entrance you guys are giving. So you have to be different from others. Don't try using simple words like cold, hot, freezing, things like that. Try using words which are different from others. If you do that, you will be different there. So let's go on our second slide and see what they're asking us now. You know that this is a list about what you want in your creative writing when you all are writing. Remember, when you're doing descriptive writing checklist, always try remembering this checklist in your mind whenever you are writing about any creative writing. You have to use lot of vocabulary words, and this we keep saying about, you always used to, you need to use your five senses. What can you see, hear, feel, taste and smell? So these are the things you have to be really really always remember this checklist in your mind, whatever topics you guys are doing. Like, use imaginary and figurative language, means that imaginary, you need to imagine, you need to create your own characters. Zoom into specific details. Don't tell a story. Don't just tell a story. Oh, once upon a time, when I saw. This is normal. I have seen that a lot of kids do this mistake. When you write, you just keep writing. Once upon a time, there was a girl. She went there. She saw this. She saw that. So these are the things you have to bear in mind when you're thinking about writing creative writing. Another things about creative writing is use ambitious vocabulary. It means that find alternative words for the following dull and boring descriptive words like good, bad, boring, nice, and dark. So this is always they tell you that don't try using the same words. Don't try just doing that instead of the basic words. You have to use different words. You need to challenge yourself whenever you're writing a good creative writing. You have to challenge yourself. What do you mean by using the senses? Using the senses is like you have to think about scene like where did you see the scene? Where what is done? Touched. The open window allowed a cool spring breeze to caress my cheeks. This is the same scene they're describing. How could you say in touch? And smell, an Asian clunder of a school bus blended along in front of us. So smell also you could say that they're different think of senses. How could you use them? They're just giving you some examples. How could you use them? If you look at taste, the bitter taste of the pre-trip travel sickness, pill, sting, still strung to back of my throat. So taste is how do you feel? How did the taste is hurt? Hurt is something really important, and try using this one a lot in your creative writing because you have to use this one. Lot of people try not using any of the words what I'm telling you. Try using your senses. You have to use your five senses whenever you're thinking about creative writing. So now again a challenge is for you guys. Again I've come back to the image for you all. In this one, think about an example of a simile and metaphor to describe the picture. So you need to use them. You need to begin the sentence with an adverb. So your sentence you should begin with the adverb and should have these two things. So let's see if you guys can give me that now. So let me see if you guys can give me now the freezing. Got one. I'm just putting lots and lots of one for you guys to have a read because there are lots of clever kids here who are using a lot of creative writing. Sorry, their imagination skills here. Look at this one, the way she used them. The clackles echoes hung from the frosty wintry cave, which was coasted with snow. I could feel the ice cold snow. This is right, but you have to use a simile. A simile is like you say as cold as snow or something like that. And you also have to use a metaphor to describe the picture. So both of you, I really like the way both of you are writing, but I want you guys to use and what they have said. Begin the sentence with an adverb. That's a challenge for you. You need to begin the sentence with an adverb. So you have to think about an adverb. which starts with ly, it should have these two things in it. Infrequently, the country was as cold as, this is a good one. Josh has given you guys. Oh, infrequently, infrequently, the country was as cold as Neptune. So you have to start with the ly. Remember that. So your sentence is starting with the ly. You have to use an adverb with these. Well, think about the example. With these two examples, should have similes in it, and metaphor in it. Angela, you need to start with the ly, with the adverb. That's a good one. Fiercely, the Iceland. Oh, I've read this one. I think so. Let's take another one now. This one is good. Falling like competed, the snowflakes filled the majestic mountains. I'm just putting some of yours so you can have an idea how you guys are doing it. And you can also see how it is. That's a good one. So I'm still waiting for you guys to give me some examples here. Instantly, the river turned. I think so. I did that. Unusually, the warm flowing river. Right, ready. The one you have written. I'm putting that one for you. Unusually, the warm falling river was as cold and the slowest mountain. You have used the adverb, but simile is as cold as also you have used. That's good. Gradually, the ice cap became a ginger while blankets was as white as fairy. That's a good one. Did I put that one? Yes, I did. So if you look at this one, she has used a adverb starting with the ly and she has used both of them. Oh, she's wrote a lot now. Slowly, the cracks windows in the lake, while the snow, which was as cold as the Antarctic as I, sounded down the path, gazing down the wintry side, I felt the islets, which was colder than ever. That's a good one. So let's go on the next slide. All of you have an idea what they're asking you to do. Now we have a different image for you guys to describe. What do you see here? So let's answer the first one in this one. So you have to, we are doing the first one first. The first one is we are on the different picture now. We are on the different scene now. Basically, you can say that. The different one is what do you see here? I can see they are looks like these boys are naughty. They're doing something naughty here. They must be, or they're gone for a bike, something. So what do you see here? So in basically in this one, you have to describe the scene. What do you see here? So you can see one, two, three. You can see five boys sitting on the riverside, and they're just chatting around. Or what do you think these boys could be doing here? Now let's start describing this image. All of you can see this one. Can you describe what these boys are doing in this one? All of you got really a good idea for the last one. Unluckily, Scott and his men were frozen to ice when they reached. Four boys and one girl. There is a girl. Yeah, she's sitting down. Looks like she's a girl. Good spotting. So, what do you think they're doing? What do you see here? So, when they're asking you, what do you see here? You have to describe about the scene. You have to describe How, what do you see? I mean, you have to see that you need to if you could also describe the river, you could describe the boy chatting around with each other, or you could describe. Now they are saying the second one is describe this scene in 3 sentences. How would you describe it? This scene in 3 sentences. So, what are the 3 sentences you can describe this one? I remember someone was asking in the group that in Essex, you guys are supposed to write 3, 4 sentence, 7 sentences for something. So, how would you describe this scene in 3 sentences? So, if I have given you a task to describe something in 3 sentences, how would you guys do that? Remember to be as creative as possible. Try using good vocabulary words and try using words which are hard, not simple words like men are sitting. When you say men are sitting, you have to describe what type of men are they. Are they You have to describe the men. You can also describe their height, their looks, how they appear, how they see. All these things you could do. Remember, there are only 3 sentences, not more than three. And I can see you have more than 3 sentences. You know what you are describing is really a basic thing. We need something more than that. Try being more creative, all of you. Try using your more. The burning sun decided to come out, and the people went for a bike ride. After a while, let me read this one. Went for a bike ride. After a while, they had a break. Since it was so hot near the edge, they sat relaxing. That's good, but I need you to be more creative in this one. Here I have 3 sentences. Let's see what this one is. With relief, the group of five were relaxing at the break of a bridge after lockdown. Yeah, that's you could say that, but try to be more creative. All of you, try using. Remember, in the previous one, you guys used lot of adverbs and things like that, and rhyme words like. Also, you guys use like as cold as snow and something like that. So try using these things for describing these men. They are good to steal kids' eyes cream. They were stealing things and were ready for the biggest. The high mountain since had sunny views and water. Oh, this is a good one, Vidhi. I'll put yours up. Vidhi's getting my idea what I want you guys to do. So in this one, if you look at this one, the high mountain since had sunny views and water as silky as smooth paint. Let's write shortest one now. They are not adherent to the rule of social distance is quite quick get together like the police segments come to arrest and find them. It's the folks are roasting in the sun. They are bugging bodies. Guys, just get away from the lockdown and try thinking about this one as a normal scene without lockdown and things like that. What would you describe this scene as? And what more could you write about this scene? The horrid men were thinking. The horrid men were thinking of to throw a poor man's bike into the river. And okay, let's see what the next slide is asking you guys to do. So I have zoomed in from a different direction for you guys to see the screen, to see the scene properly, so that you could describe more about these people now. Describe these men more. How would you describe them now? Remember to use your 5 senses when you're describing. So you have to use your. The people were as happy as a lark while the rays of the sun hit their body and made sweat trickle down like a river. Good. And I can see smoke, and none of you are describing the smoke. Try describing the things what you can see, because I can see smoke coming from a building, something, and I can see one of the boys is still looking at that. And remember, when smoke comes, what happens? The huge mountain since had sunny views and water as silky as smooth paint, with the dirty smoke stirring out. Oh, this is a good one. So the high mountains since had a very sunny views and water as silky as smooth paint and the dirty smoke stealing out, destroying nature. That's a good one. So you guys are getting the point. What do you have to do? So let's see what the next slide is asking you guys to do. Again, the next slide is telling you guys is he sits on the couch holding his guitar. Don't tell a story. So obviously, what I was telling you guys, you are not supposed to tell a story. You have to think about the logics, how to describe something. Showing his eyes are closed and is cracking the guitar in his arms like a lover. So if you compare the first one and the second one, if I was a one who's marking your paper, I would definitely go for the second one. Because in this, you just wrote that he sits on a couch holding his guitar. That is something we don't just write. In creative writing, you have to be creative. You have to describe the guitar in a way that you guys understand what to do. So showing is like his eyes are closed and he's cracking the guitar in his arms. The second example takes the basic information and paints a picture with it. It also use a figurative language. In this case, the it also use a simile in this one, that's clacking the guitar in his arms like a lover to help create an image. So with this, which one you think is better? If I give you two things and I tell you to choose two sentences, which one you think would be the one which is good and you guys will think is a better option for you guys to start? Obviously, all of you will go for the second one. You won't go for the first one. Don't tell a story. This is what I was telling you guys. All of you were looking like you're telling me a story. Now's your turn. Use an image in a craft of a piece, or let's use one. And remember, what you're using, you have to use your vocabulary, your five senses, your imaginary and figurative language. You have to zoom in to specific details. Don't tell a story. And when you do a starter, this is something I wanted to tell you guys because I was looking at what examples all of you were giving me. None of the things, it was some of you were doing it really good, and some of you were just giving me like you're just telling me a story. There were four boys and one girl sitting on the side. They were doing this, they were doing that. The enclosed beach is silent. The sun is blending in its image. It rises like a yellow balloon on the. If you look at this one, what techniques are being used here? If you look at the techniques, what are being used here, you can highlight and label them. So you can highlight and label them, and see they have used a lot of things for you guys. Okay, now look at this scene now. So we have. I'm thinking which one should I give you guys? We can go back to the boys now. So you know the things you're using. So this is one way of looking at the boys. Have a look at this one and then look at this one. This is another one from the side where the boys can see. I can show you three images for you guys to describe the boy. This is the first one. That's the zoom one. You guys are looking at really closely. Second one, I can see the buildings and the smoke coming, and here are all of them sitting. Now it's your turn to use lot of vocabulary words and start describing this image. How would you do it now? So I've shown you three things now. How would you describe them now? Or you want a different one if you don't like these boys. I'm looking at the slide if there's any good image I can give you guys. You can have this three. What are we describing? Haha, said Jones. We say, look at this one. This is your first image. This is your first one. You can see them really closely. This is the second one. You can see the buildings here. That gives you a little idea how to describe. And this is the third one. Now you all can start doing it. I will stop here for a minute. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to try describing this image now and see how would you describe this one now. So for me, you all, we will be discussing this. How I've given you a lot of ideas how to do it and how should all of you get started. Second one, you want me to stop in the second one? Let me stop in the second. That's the same one. There are three of the same one. Boys are sitting here. This is the view. If I zoom in a little bit, that's your view. Okay, let's describe this one here. Remember the boy, everybody sitting there. And if I zoom in and you have to describe this image, remember to use your five senses in this one. What five senses you can use in this one? So I'll be stopping at this one, this image here, and see what you guys do. I'll give you 2 minutes to give me some ideas about your creative writing. The disgusting steam flowed out of the chimneys as it was on the disgusting steam flowed out of the chimneys. You have repeated the same things again and again. Really try. So this is something. Remember, when you are describing about the buildings, you have to describe how tall they are. I can't see any one of you describing how tall the buildings are. Everybody is just describing the smoke about that. So if you look at this, the buildings look really tall. They look really tall building, and from the tall building, I can see that smoke is coming out, or might be there must be a fire somewhere. And if you look at the image on the first one, looks like the boys are looking at that, or they are just busy talking. They didn't even saw that there's a fire going around. There's a fire going on. They're so busy chatting around. They don't even know that there's a fire there. If you look at the boys, they are just keep on talking. Looks like one of them is looking at the smoke and the others are just busy talking. Angela's given me a good one. She's told me that the Gangtran building had an ash gray smoke rising from the tops. So when are you describing the building? You could also describe one of the boys. If you look at one of the boys, looks like he's looking at the smoke and they might be making fun of the smoke or something. They're so busy talking, chatting with each other, they didn't even look at that. So what basically they're telling you, zooming in into different sections of your scene allow you to control the reader's reaction. So you have to think about different sections of your story. When you start describing something in your creative writing, you have to think about everything. You have to think about the sky. You have to think about the river. In this one, there are so many things you all can describe in your creative writing. I'm just giving you ideas, but I want you guys to Write down your creative writing. That would be your competition for this week, to describe this scene. And remember to include all the scenes in your creative writing. You have to describe about the trees. I can see trees. None of you describe the trees. I could see the river. I could also see a bridge. If you go a little further down, you can see where you can see the smoke coming. You can also see there is a bridge there. So you could describe the bridge. Try going all the angles while you are describing. So try describing all the angles in your creative writing. You have to think about every single angle in your creative writing. So I'll wait for you guys to give me some ideas now, and I'll just put your ideas on so that others can have some ideas for their creative writing when they'll be writing it down. The three hairy men and two tasty girls sat by the river Thames while talking. No one noticed of the plotted smoke that. So basically, they were so busy talking, they didn't even see the fire. The blazing, polluted city had grey smoke coming out of the extremely tall sky. Crafters, the long, short sides bridge had many cars coming across it. Another one. I'm just writing your ideas now for others to have a look so they can copy some of your ideas, or they could make their own ideas and they can write about the scene what we are talking about today. The scorching heat wave from the sunset beam of light hitting the group of friends. Delight, there were a disastrous cloud of ash, grey smoke lifted round the fair site of the city. I don't think it's letting me send what I type. I don't know really, because everybody else is typing it and they're fine with it. I think so because everybody's typing so fast. Maybe that's why. The men and women were chatting and laughing while the distant city was leaking smoke to the environment. That's a good one. The lush tree about to go to Trevin, tree heavens along to be eaten by the smoke of. I think so. It's the amount you need to have around. You can't write. Try writing in the messages of the chat or something. I think so. In the live you can't, but if you go on the messages itself, you can write in the messages of the live. I think so. The Facebook don't have any problems. Facebook, they can write as much as they want. The cloud of smoke was black as darkness, drifting around the city, affecting lives. What about the river, guys? Nobody describing the poor river. Anybody who wants to describe the river now? Try describing the river if you can. The men who were The three hairy men and two little girls sat by the river Thames. Oh yes, you did. Another one also did. Yeah. Here's one about the river. Three hairy men. Another one describing the river. I'm just putting some of your ideas up for you guys to have a look. The rubber ashes falling on the river as shiny as a diamond. That's a good one. Another one coming describing the river. The river pumped away at the docks, clutching at the pier's stand. It is definitely not the River Thames. Yes, it doesn't look like. It looks like it's somewhere in America, like New York or something, because New York have so big buildings. The group of five were chatting away as one or two people were flabbergasted with the that's a good one. Here's somebody describing the trees now. At least the poor trees have been described by you guys. The trees were trembling with fear. Here come another one. The ashes dashed out above the liquid jewels. Deep river was swimming with the sea life. That's another one you guys have. So all of you have a lot of ideas how you can describe it. Now I just want to see if there's anything else in this slide. So this is some of the starters they have given you. If you want to have a look at this one, I can stop here. This is the starters. They have used a short sentence. They have used a lot of things in this one. The enclosed beach is silent. The sun is blending at its edge. It rises like a yellow balloon on the district horizon, and the sun gradually starts to appear. A new day unfolds. No, that's different. Let's stick to where we are. Now it's time for me. I just want to see why you have so crying emojis here. Here comes another one now. Big River Snaps was shouting for help, trying to attract attention as the trees were trembling with fear. Good, all of you are doing really good. And I'm liking the way you guys are describing everything. And I'm going now to see my chat app. I'm just looking if I can have to see if how many of you are the ones who are really separate. I got another one. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Another one is zoom in for you guys. The Navy Sea float as softy as a smoke. That's good. So you know now how to do it. So all of you would be giving me lots and lots of things. Gia has given a good one. Separated by the Circlin River, the gang. Another one is here. I'm just putting. Oh, what is this? I'm just using as many as you all can give me. And I'm going on putting it here so that all of you know that you have done so many of them. The waving sea planed the bridge overthrew it was a good sight. That's a good one. The clouds of smoke swift into the sky as the five people were chatting away. And you know what? You could also describe something if you look at the river. I'll go on the slide, the previous one, where they show you the river. If you look at this, you can see there's a bridge here. That must be the one from going from one place to another. That must be like a crossing way of thing like that. And I can also see if you zoom in a little bit, which I can't do. I don't know why in this one. But if you can see properly, let me try if I can. No, it doesn't let me zoom in. If you look at here, I can see a little boat. If you can see what I'm trying to show you guys, I can see a little boat going through the bridge, inside through the bridge, is crossing the bridge or something, and the smoke is coming. So you could also describe that in your image. You could also describe that when are you describing these boys. So you could also describe about that board, the one which I just showed you guys. So that was something which I noticed that. And how many other things can you see which you guys have not described? Try looking at the images. Really, I'll put these three for you guys. Not this one, sorry. These three in a 11 plus ALT group for you guys to have a look, because these three images will help you make your creative writing. And you could also describe about the fishes or things like that in the river. How would the fishes feel? So you have to go to an extent where you think that there'll be lots and lots of things you could describe. Did I take that? Oh, here you go. The trembling trees in the wind, fear was written all over its face. So this was the one what we did today, and I'll be stopping it here. But I want, before I go, I want you guys to tell me what do you want to do tomorrow, because as I told you before, what we are going to do tomorrow is something which has to be decided by you guys. I'll stop sharing this screen now. You want me to put some more? I can do that for you guys. You want to do NVR tomorrow? Let me stop sharing the screen. I got 3 NVRs. I'll go with the ones who are. Let me just take this message out now. I've taken it out for you guys. So it's like all of you, can we do NVR, please? I have so many of you who are saying NVR. We have already done maths this week, so we won't be able to do maths. Verbal also we did. And decimals, if you want to go for decimals, I would say that just look at a lot of lives we did in our channel, and definitely I did decimals with you guys. So we'll be doing NVR tomorrow as advised by you guys. And I'll be telling you the winners tomorrow. Can we do NVR, please? Yes, you can. And I'll be telling you the winners tomorrow for this week who have. Let's see what my computer generate the winner. And I'll tell you the winners tomorrow. So we'll be doing NVR tomorrow because all of you has said NVR. NVR and VR. VR we already did this week. How many people? Let's see how many people it does it choose. I'll let you guys know. Don't worry about that. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow now. Don't forget to like the video if you guys have not. Don't worry, all your creative writings are good, but we have to choose the best one in all of them. And please don't forget to like the video, all of you. What time? We are back on the same time, 12 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you guys back on 12 o'clock tomorrow. And don't forget to like the video if you have not. You can also, because if you like the video and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do that on YouTube. And on Facebook, you guys can go on a Ambitious Learning page and you can follow that page. If you follow that page, whenever we go live, all of you will come to know when we are live. The same thing happens in YouTube. If you subscribe to our channel, whenever we go live, all of you get a notification that we are live. I have so much of habit of saying the same thing again and again. And also get your family and friends to join our group and our lessons. And remember that I have put all your creative writings, all your good work in a newsletter. What I'm going to publishing that letter really soon for you guys, so you can have an idea how good you guys are. So try sending all your good work to me so I can put in the newsletters of our group 11 plus ALT, and I'll be putting that newsletter maybe by today or tomorrow in 11 plus ALT group for you guys. Bye everyone.